Hello friends, welcome to my channel, Managing Diabetics. Alright, this is my next topic I'm going to be discussing. It's all about diabetics. So my topic for this moment is what is your ideal glucose level? Glucose level in our body have a level that you should maintain at all times. And doctors use a chart in monitoring your sugar levels. So what is the ideal glucose levels? Because somebody will be saying, okay, all these issues of sugar, what is called ideal sugar level in my body? So this is what I'm going to be discussing now. I've discussed in my previous video what are the best time to check your glucose levels, and I've said check it before or after the meal, and make sure you have your record. And if it's going to be after the meal, make sure you check it 2 hours after your meal. Check it before or after your medications to know your glucose level. Make sure you keep your record. And the last one I did mention in my previous video is after engaging in physical activities, make sure you know your sugar levels. It is very, very important. Alright, so now, and the last one is also, okay, check it at your bedtime. Before you go to bed, always know your glucose levels. Now, I'm moving to the next topic. What is the ideal glucose levels in our body or as a diabetic patient? You see, a blood chart can help individuals know what range their blood sugar levels should be at different times of the day. Your sugar level fluctuates at different times of the day, depending on the activities you are engaging yourself to. And that is why it is important you know your sugar level at all times. You know, your doctors use sugar chart or glucose chart to help people set goals and monitor their diabetes treatment plans. Chart can also help people with diabetes understand their blood sugar levels. That's all that I'm summarizing. The importance of knowing your ideal glucose level is to understand your blood sugar levels, for your doctor to map out a plan on how to treat you. With that chart, he or she, your physician, he or she will be able to know either your treatment is working or it's not working, and if it's not working, on which direction should I follow next. So every individual have a different way of managing or treating their diabetics. So that is why it is important you know your ideal blood sugar level at all times. You know, an ideal blood sugar level will depend on individual factors. A doctor will work with even each person to establish suitable levels of different times of the day, depending on whether the person has just woken up, eating, or exercise. At all times, depending on the activities you engage yourself. As I said, if you're an athlete, your range of sugar level might be different when before going into your exercise and after your exercise. So it is important to know your sugar level. If you have not eaten, your sugar level when you've not eaten is different from when after you've eaten. That is why it's important to know your levels. If you are going to bed, that's why check your blood sugar level at bedtimes. Your blood sugar level when you are going to bed is different from when you wake up. So that is why it is important to know your sugar level at all times. And that is why if you watch my previous video, I say glucose is not all about stop adding sugar to my tea. It is more than that. There are basics you have to understand. And once you understand those basics, you see that you can live and manage diabetes and live a normal life for years and years to come. Like what I've just explained. If you are going to gym, your blood sugar level reading is different from when you come after gym, or when you come out to the field, or when you finish coming out of running or taking a walk. That is one aspect of it. Now, your blood sugar level when going to bed is different when you wake up in the morning. You have to know what is my reading before going to bed and what is my reading after waking up in the morning. Now, if you have eaten, your sugar level before you eat is different from when after you finish eating. So it is advisable to know your sugar levels before you eat and after you eat. And after you eat, make sure you take your reading 2 hours after you've eaten. So that is why I've been emphasizing in all my videos, understanding the basics of diabetics will help you to manage your diabetics effectively and to live a normal life for years to come. Alright? So it is important you know all those things. And once you know it, then you see that you can live with it. Alright? Now, one other thing you're supposed to know, your ideal level, is the chart I'm going to give you guys. That will give you a guidance to know your ideal level of your sugar at all times. Now, depending on the test, measuring your blood glucose levels is an essential step in managing your diabetics. There are different types of tools for blood glucose management. Okay? You have to know your glycemic control index or glycemic control. Now, I'm going to give you 3. How to measure or test your sugar level. There are different ways. Doctors used to measure your glucose level. Individuals monitor your sugar level. These are all management plans being fashioned out for you. Let me start with the one way doctors measures your blood sugar. We have the A1C or HbA1c test. Okay, that has to do with your hemoglobin. The A1C test. This test shows your blood sugar level over time. That is, it's done quarterly, every 3 months. So doctors send you for a test, put you for a test. Like, I'm going to give you an example of mine. When I was diagnosed to be a diabetic patient, my doctor put me on A1C test for 2 years, constantly 2 years. So every 3 months, I have to report for a blood test. In that manner, my doctor was able to, with over time, to know how my diabetes control is working. For good 2 years, I was on a blood test, continuous blood test for 2 years. That is, every 3 months, I have to surrender myself for a blood test. They take my blood, take my urine, they check my kidney, check my liver, check my eyes, check my cholesterol levels and my high blood pressure. These are the vital organs my doctor, every time he sends me for a test, these are the things he checks for 2 years. That is why the A1C test, which shows your blood sugar level over time. So with that time, my doctor was able to see how I'm progressing in treatment to reach a conclusion that my diabetes is under control or out of control. But I can tell you, without being adding or subtracting anything, for that 2 years, for the first 2 months, my blood sugar was a little bit high because I don't understand how to manage it. So my doctor now have to school me and tell me certain things, how to live with it. But for the remaining months, for that period of time, my blood sugar was normal. It never go below, it never go high. One of these days, I'm going to do a video with my blood test, medical blood test for that 2 years. I'm going to do a video and I will take you month by quarterly by quarterly to see how my sugar level was being monitored. So for 2 years, I was on A1C tests. That's the way my doctor started. That's the plan he fashioned out for me to monitor my blood sugar. And from there, he was able to conclude that yes, things are working. So that is one. Secondly, continuous glucose monitoring, which is the CGM, is an ongoing measure that tracks level throughout the day. That's the one. There are some ones, there's something that they attach to your arm here, and then it reads your blood sugar throughout the day and it sends it to your app on the phone. That way, it tracks your blood sugar. So every it depends on, you can set it every 5 minutes or every 30 minutes. It will read your blood sugar and it send it to your app on your phone. So that is the CGM. It's a continuous glucose monitoring that tracks the level throughout the day. Okay, now there's the third one, which is the self-monitoring of blood glucose through finger pricks. So the third one is the one you prick your finger and take a blood and put on a straplet and put inside a meter to read your blood sugar. So these are the 3 ways to know your ideal glucose levels. Okay, either through the A1C test over time, quarterly, that one is done quarterly every 3 months, or the continuous glucose monitoring, the CGM, that tracks your levels throughout the day. That one, they attach it to your arm, and you have an app on your phone. It now read your text, your blood glucose test throughout the whole day and send it to your app and allow you to look at it. So thereby you are keeping track of your glucose level throughout the day. And then the last one is the finger prick. The one you prick your finger, take your blood and put it in a straplet and put it inside a meter to read your glucose level. So doctor measures sugar level in milligrams per, they measure in milligram per deciliter. Okay, which is mg slash dl. That's why I have a problem pronouncing that. I've tried several times to pronounce it very well, deciliter. So doctors measure sugar level in milligram per deciliter. Okay, but A1C result may also appear as a percentage. The percentage refers to the amount of hemoglobin that glucose has bound to the blood. So while the one you prick your finger is being measured per milligram per deciliter, that is mg/dl, the A1C result measures your blood in percentage. So that percentage is as a result of the amount of hemoglobin that the glucose has bound in your blood. So one is being measured by milligram, the other one is being measured by percentage. Okay, so these are the ways to know your sugar level at all times. Now, what is the ideal range? This is your general target level. I'm going to give you the figure now. This is your target level, your general blood sugar target level as follows. Now, if you don't have, this is before the meal for people without diabetes. Listen very carefully so that you understand what I'm saying. For people without diabetics, before the meal, the range is 72-99 milligram deciliter mg/dl. So if you don't have diabetics, your sugar level before the meal is supposed to be between 72 to 99 mg. Then 2 hours after your meal, for people without diabetics, 2 hours after your meal, is supposed to be less than 140 milligram. Let me repeat it again. For people without diabetics, your sugar levels before the meal is supposed to be between 72 to 99 mg. The same people without diabetics, 2 hours after the meal, is supposed to be less than 140 mg. It's supposed to be less than 140 mg. This is for people without diabetics. Now, for people with diabetics, before the meal, your target range is supposed to be 80 to 130 milligram. You get me? Compare it with people without diabetics. For people with diabetics, before the meal, your target range is supposed to be 80 to 130 milligram. Now, for people with diabetics, 2 hours after your meal is supposed to be less than 180 milligram. So this is your target range. This is your ideal blood sugar range. So if you have a paper, write it down. Play the video again and write it down. If you're a diabetic, or if you have a family member that is a diabetic, write it down. If you're a diabetic, before the meal, your target range is supposed to be between 80 to 130 milligram. 2 hours after your meal, it's supposed to be less than 180 milligram. This is for people with diabetics. Now, for people without diabetics, before the meal, your target range is supposed to be 72 to 99 milligram. Now, after the meal, for people without diabetics, it's supposed to be less than 140 milligram. This is your ideal blood sugar range for people with diabetics and for people without diabetics. So, having said all this, if you're diabetic or you have a family member that is diabetic, make sure you know this target range. You let them know that, look, if you are diabetic, this is the range you should be reading. If you are reading below this range or above this range, then you have to change the course. You have to now change your diet or eat in moderation. There is something you are doing wrong that you are not falling within the range. That is why I say, as a diabetic, there are certain basics you have to understand in order to manage it effectively. And once you are managing effectively, you see that you are going to live a normal life. All right. Now, I'm going to discuss about A1C level. Okay, in my next video, understanding A1C level is very, very important. So in my next video that I'll be dropping, I will discuss about A1C levels for the people with diabetics. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that with these ideal levels for people with diabetics, you'll be able to manage your diabetes properly. And please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, share, and comment. Leave me a comment at the end of this video so that I will respond to your questions. Alright, thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope this is making a difference in your life or a member of your family living with diabetes. Please, if you have any question for me, leave me a comment, ask questions, and I will respond to it. Thank you guys very much for watching my video, and see you guys in my next video, understanding A1C levels for people with diabetics. See you guys next time. Goodbye.